Right. Okay. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Committee of the Whole meeting on November the 12th, 2025. I'm really pleased to acknowledge that today we are acknowledging how privileged we are to meet on the unceded and the ancestral territories of the Squamish and the St'át'imc Nations. We have an agenda recommendation.
That the minutes of the
Nope. Next one.
The
Above.
agenda of this meeting be approved.
Thank you, Melissa. Seconder.
second.
Thank you. Thank you, Rachel and Lisa. Any opposed? Seeing none, that's carried. And a minute recommendation.
That the minutes of the committee of the whole meeting held October 8th, 2025 be adopted.
Thank you, Lisa. Is there a seconder for that? Thank you, Rachel. Anyone opposed? Seeing none, that too is carried. That brings us right down to item number 4, our information items, which begin with an update from Danielle Haverstock, our Secretary Treasurer, on the trustee calendar and coming events.
Thank you. Okay, I'm just going to go through some of the events and meetings that are coming up in the next couple months up until January. So next Wednesday, we have school learning plan meetings, and we have House Sound Secondary school learning plan meeting in the morning, and that will be attended by Trustee Bickford and Trustee Lowe. So that's happening. And then there's also a Whistler Secondary one happening in the morning, as well as Myrtle Phillip in the afternoon. And that was scheduled to have Trustee Lythe as well as Trustee Turpin attending that. And Trustee Turpin just let us know she's unable to attend both of those. So I believe Trustee Turpin's looking for somebody to cover.
Please. My mother requires my assistance.
I have it in my calendar that I have school learning plans that day, but I didn't know where, so I can do it.
Okay, are you good to go to both then?
Mhm.
Okay, great.
Melissa, thank you.
No problem.
So
I
you'll
can
be-
switch with you.
I think I'm like be done after this.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. Think for sure.
Melissa's scheduled for Garibaldi Highlands in April,
I think
Valley
I switched.
Cliff in April.
That was the end of April?
Yeah.
I think I switched with someone and I did PSS.
I think that's
Or not PSS, Signal Hill and Blackwater. Cause I won't be here.
Oh, okay, you're gone when?
Or maybe that was May.
Yeah,
That was May, okay.
are you
sorry.
okay for
I'm here.
April? Okay. Okay, thank you for taking that on. And so Lisa Turpin was scheduled to attend the recognition lunch for Whistler Secondary School. So we can put your name beside that.
And then I do the,
You would do the Myrtle Phillip one.
oh, yeah.
Okay, and is there any other changes to school learning plan meetings coming up in the spring that anybody has any changes that they need or would like me to go over with anybody, what dates they have or anything like that? Let me know. Okay. Thank you. Thanks very much for that. Okay. The next item is Thursday, November 27th to Saturday, November 29th will be BCSD Trustee Academy. And that starts on Thursday at 1 p.m. Most people are staying at the Hyatt and everybody's registered to go with the exception of Trustee Bickford and Turpin. And I just want to check in, is everybody still able to attend? Yeah.
Did you say we were at the Hyatt?
Yes.
Okay. That's good too.
Okay, you should have, I think, received an email
Yeah, we did.
saying.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There were, yeah, I got my reservation
Perfect.
sent to me.
Okay.
The actual event's still at the Westin, correct?
The event's still at the West End and likely they'll probably have
Shuttles.
shuttles going
Yeah.
back and forth.
Where's the Hyatt again?
Hyatt is on
Burrard
Burrard
and-
and just off Georgia.
Oh, it is that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not very tall.
No. Okay. And okay, so just so everybody knows, I'm attending the BC ASBO conference on Wednesday and Thursday. And so I will not be joining you till Thursday evening. However, Chris and Paul will be with you Thursday afternoon,
What time does it start?
1 PM on Thursday.
1 PM on Thursday.
Yeah. Okay, and we've made dinner reservations for Friday evening at 6 PM for Taki's Taverna. And I just want to double check, because right now we don't have anything planned for the Thursday evening, so did anybody want me to make reservations for Thursday at all, or everybody is okay grabbing their own thing or doing their own thing? Just want to double check.
I imagine we'll probably figure it out over there.
I think we can just,
Mm.
yeah, I don't think we have a huge amount of time in between.
Yeah, but I think there's a couple hours, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we could just come figure it out. on
Okay.
our own. Yeah.
Okay. Rooms and self-parking have been paid for already. And if somebody wants to choose valet parking, the charge will be applied to the district MasterCard, and then we'll just deduct that amount from any of your expense claims coming up. And trustees may claim per diems for lunch and dinner on Thursday, as well as lunch on Saturday. So any questions around Trustee Academy? No? Okay, great. Then the next thing we have, December 1st is our SSTA liaison meeting, and the board chair is a representative for that meeting. December 2nd is our agenda setting meeting with the chair and vice chair as the board reps. And then December 10th, we have our board meeting day. And we're also going to be having a school board office recognition lunch this day as well. And there's also going to be trustee elections that day too. So that will be for board chair, vice chair, and BCPC representative. That will be at the December board meeting. And also we will add an item to the committee of the whole meeting for anyone who wants to express their interest for running for any of those positions. Okay, any questions on that?
Is provincial council up for that one too?
Provincial, no, I think the provincial council, I think the chair, actually, chair and vice chair would probably just I think the other committees, all the committees, people just reach out and ask what people are interested in. And then I think the board and vice chair assign them.
No, it
That-
was
that-
voted.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
One is voted and one is, I think provincial council is voted, but BCPC is.
Yeah.
Assigned. Yeah.
Provincial council. So it must be that one then.
Yeah.
Provincial council.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, so that one must be, I must be mixed that up with the BCPC rep. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the other committee members, like if there's like the DPAC, those other committees, that gets assigned by the chair and vice chair. Based on whoever lets them know that they're interested in. And then December 15th, there's a DPAC meeting that's online. January 6th is agenda setting meeting with the chair and board chair or the board reps. And then January 14th is board meeting day. And we also have scheduled January 28th, a board education session. So we'll talk a little bit further about that in this agenda in a few minutes. And then January 29th is BCPC AGM. This year, this will be virtual, and currently April's the representative for the school district. So that's upcoming dates.
Great. Okay, thank you for the updates. Any comments or questions, concerns? Okay, seeing none, let's move on to BCSTA Trustee Academy. We kind of talked a lot about that already. I don't know if you have anything to add. No? Okay, terrific. We'll move on to school learning plans for November 19th, which I think we already covered as well. Anything else to add? No? Okay. Let's move next on to item 4B, which is the BCSTA Provincial Council Report. And that's from Trustee Ronan. Melissa, thank you so much for attending, and take it away.
Okay, I have a lot to say. It was a informative meeting and it went by quite quickly when you look at how much stuff there was to talk about. The provincial council synopsis is now available on the BCSTA site. And I encourage and they encourage you all to read it. There's some really important items on there and some interesting stuff. There was a lot of excitement over Prime Minister Carney's announcement that the National School Food Program has been it will be permanent, thanks to strong advocacy through us all and our colleagues through BCSTA and CSBA. BCSTA's strategic priorities are number one, public education matters, with an increase of non-targeted funding for kindergarten to grade 12 public education system remains primary focus. Two, building public education champions by providing exceptional professional development, supporting boards in their work, and showcasing the value of BCSTA. Number three, You Matter to Public Education, which is promoting candidacies in upcoming school trustee elections. So trying to get more people to run and be part of the important work that is done. As a trustee, BCSTA has maintained strong collaboration relationships with key government partners through several meetings. They were just in Victoria and had some things to say about that, but I'll get to that later. Bargaining, most teachers' local tables have successfully concluded their negotiations. Full support staff bargaining tables began in September. BCSTA joined Minister Bear and other officials in Surrey to celebrate the opening of 640 new childcare spaces across 12 communities province-wide. With still not even a glitch in what we need, but it is a start. BCSTA FINESC collaboration with Suzanne Hoffman and Joe Crona, focusing on relations with First Nations, ensuring trustee education incorporates Indigenous perspectives and supports meaningful reconciliation efforts in the education governance. CSBA, their report. One of the key issues that came up in Ottawa is vaping. School boards across Canada see a troubling rise in vaping, which is a major public health concern, but also a big challenge for educators and school admin striving to maintain a safe, healthy, and supportive learning environment. So CSBA is advocating for a ban on flavored vaping products and a stricter enforcement of age restrictions for the purchase of vaping products. I think that's excellent that they're going to do that. I think it's really tricky. So we'll see what comes out of that. But if you can't, anyway. So Ontario and the challenges to local demographic governance and education. So there, do you guys all know about this? How, yeah, it's kind of a scary situation, but they've made 4 major school boards, including Toronto and Ottawa, are exploring the elimination of elected trustees by collapsing 72 school boards into 4 provincial groups. So that's, yeah, that's a lot. We'll see what comes out of that. It was brought up that the school board in Victoria still is not running with elected trustees, and BCSTA is doing nothing about that. So that was a bit of a just an awareness piece that's like, we are elected, and there are situations where, like in Victoria, they don't have anybody. So yeah, tricky. They didn't talk about it. It was just a question that was brought up. IEAC met at the Longhouse Interpretive Center in Mission to do succession planning for knowledge keepers and supporting the inclusion of both male and female knowledge keepers. There was a question brought up at that point where, why is there only male and female knowledge keepers when we're in an inclusive world? What about non-binary, etc.? And they said that at this point, they don't have a plan to change it from male and female knowledge keepers. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Trustee knowledge series data shows many students have not returned to regular attendance post-pandemic. And FINESC has an attendance toolkit. They didn't really talk very much about that. And then there's also Engage Sports North discussed how talented Indigenous athletes often leave sports due to systemic barriers that require them to leave home communities for training. Again, it was brought up but not elaborated on. And then the finance committee, there was a question brought up about how BCSTA carries over quite a large amount and how it is very expensive to go to Academy and the AGM. And a lot of districts are not able to pay that. So why are we still paying such high fees when they're carrying over such a large amount of money? That wasn't, it was a question brought up, but it wasn't talked about, discussed rather than that. And that's it in a nutshell. But it is a really great synopsis, so I do recommend going back and reading through it. There's a lot of interesting information in there.
Thank you so much for that, Melissa, and thank you for taking the time to attend those days online. Are there any questions or comments? I think I'll just add one comment. That I think as a province, we can be really proud of the advocacy work that's happening at the BCSTA level and the engagement that our executive have with the ministers. And I really do hope that the work that they're doing is helping us to improve public education day by day. I feel like it is, and that as trustees, as member trustees of the BCSTA, I do feel that our input is taken seriously at things like AGM and at Trustee Academy, and that we can trust the executive to take that information forward. And I'd like to thank all of the people who are our staff who also help us understand the ins and outs in the working of education so that we can play that part in advocating for the improvement of public education. So thanks for the update, Melissa. And in that document, I think there is a link to all of the advocacy that was done at the Day of Advocacy, as well as links to who the different members of the BCSTA executive, which ministers they spoke to. So it is a really super valuable document and does show the work that's taking place. So an important organization and a great report. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, next on our agenda, if there's no other questions there, I kind of rushed, maybe, okay. We're moving on to our board education session report.
I have it in paper form.
Okay,
And I meant to send it to the two of you. I've got my notes and I have not sent it. I thought since we were skinny today, we may just carry it forward, but it was very, very informative with regards to community presentations and standing committees. What is our engagement plan? There was a lot of really interesting conversation on how we become better educated. And yeah, it was a interesting read and a very interesting conversation that followed afterward.
thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you for taking notes at that meeting. And if at some point you
they're
could,
there.
okay, thanks. If at some point you can send them around, that would
Yeah.
be lovely. Is there anyone else who would like to comment?
I think we had agreed that Lisa was going to report on it, so I'm not going to
Yeah.
say a lot. I will say that I got a lot out of that education session, and I'm really glad that we did it.
Perfect. That's great. Thank you, Melissa. I thought it was valuable also. The document that we read is it's an excellent document. I think it really lays out quite well what the role of a trustee is and the role that the trustee should play in communication and engagement with the public. And not only does it sort of explicitly talk about what you should do, but I think it also explicitly says where you should not step. And I think those are very important distinctions. And our conversation as a group sort of circled around those sometimes more nuanced ideas. So again, I think it was valuable and it was nice to be together. And we'll be having another online session maybe in the future, or maybe it will be in person, but either way, another education session. Yeah, go ahead. Another education session will happen, and I do think they're always valuable, and you come out learning something at the end of them. So
Yeah, I'd love to do it
yeah, a good,
often-ish if we can.
yeah, a good use of our time.
Mhm.
Okay. Any other comments? Okay, lovely. Let's move on to number 5 discussion item, the South Coast Branch agenda items. I do believe that in the last, what do we call it? The newsletter, the South Coast Branch newsletter, there was a link to the agenda for the South Coast Branch meeting, but I'm just wondering if anyone has anything else they would like to add at this time. And if you don't have anything at this time, just feel free to send it to myself or to April, and we can add it to the agenda. And then would it be a good time to talk about?
Yeah.
Okay. If you open up the attachment on discussion item B, board education sessions, and scroll down a little bit, Rebecca Barley, our board chair, has actually brought up the idea that perhaps we have an education, or I don't know if it'll be an education session, maybe. Have a branch meeting where Lauren Sturgey was the speaker. So that's a suggestion from her, and we could put that on the agenda for the South Coast Branch meeting and discuss that. If people feel like they would like.
Why?
She is an excellent speaker. She has spoken at either Academy or AGM before, and her message was fantastic. She speaks a lot about how people can have different perspectives on a situation, but that if you can find a way to understand how we all have the same goal, that's kind of the ultimate way to communicate. Just, you might be coming at it from different backgrounds, histories, experiences, but you're trying to meet the same goal. And so if you can kind of put that background aside and focus on the shared ideal, then you could probably move your processes forward faster, in a nutshell.
Yeah.
And I would have to look to ensure what this process is about having, we're obligated to have 2 branch meetings a year. And we usually do those at Academy and at AGM, but there have been other situations where we've met outside of that and done an education center night session. And I know a couple of the other branches have done them already. There was something in the weekly about that. I can't remember, in the north, I think they did one, and somewhere else, maybe also in the north. And so it's not unusual for the branches to meet and do something together, but of course there would be costs associated with that and time. So it would definitely be
So it could happen on Zoom too.
to talk about. We could maybe, and I don't know what it would cost to have Lauren Sturgey come and speak. I'm pretty sure she wouldn't do it for free.
She also has a lot of keynotes on her webpage. I haven't looked at them, but maybe it's something that we could do as like the education session where we, like what we just did, where we watch one of these and then get together as a group with just the trustees and have a discussion.
And would you suggest that like for a South Coast branch or just us?
I don't see why it couldn't be everybody, because it's nice to get perspective from a different branch as well.
Okay. All right. Would you like me to add it to the agenda? It's just people can say that sounds great, or people can say no, thank you. We'll just have a conversation at Academy.
Sure.
Yeah, I think we should have a conversation about it, but in the meantime, let's have a look at her keynotes and see if that's even something that we want to pursue before we bring it up.
Okay, maybe I'll leave it off of the agenda right now. People can have a chance to look. And
I think you should put it on, but it could be a discussion at Academy, like, do you do you want to do that? Or do we want to see like how much it would be to hire to do like a Zoom session with everybody?
Mhm.
Or like we could look into that too, like a
Mm.
couple different options.
Okay,
So
okay. I can.
maybe Melissa, you can look at see if there's something we're gonna be useful to everyone.
Sure. At her keynotes,
Mm-hmm.
yep. This says they're between 30 and 90 minutes.
Maybe choose a 30-minute one.
Or is it just of what she would talk about? Hold on, maybe it's not an actual thing to watch. It's not an actual thing to watch.
So you can probably hire her to do that.
Yeah, you would hire her to do it, which makes more sense because why would you give away for free?
So we could ask the,
Mm.
you can ask them if anyone else is interested in it.
Okay, and then we can gauge their interest and take it from there. And then see if there's still interest after we have all the information.
Yeah.
That like sound like a right process?
And the cost.
We'd have
Oh,
to share.
cost will be, sure.
It'd be better to share.
Yeah.
If we can.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. And see if people are interested, like maybe it can all be done on Zoom and.
Yeah. Because that session we had with the ministry, with the Minister of Education was good, and that happened on Zoom.
Mhm. We could even try to do it in the evenings.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember that now. That was,
She does online courses, so.
okay. Okay, well, let's put it on the agenda for the South Coast Branch meeting and we can have a discussion. Maybe if someone who is not me can be prepared to speak to it, because I feel like I'm going to be doing like a lot of the talking. It's nice to share that around. Can just give a little like information about who she is, which could just be like from her bio or whatever.
If it's Rebecca's idea, should Rebecca speak to it?
Maybe, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
good. Okay, I'll send that idea to Rebecca. Lisa, sorry, are you okay? We haven't really.
All
Okay.
good.
Okay, thanks. This is when Zoom is tricky. You get like caught up with being in the room and then I don't want you to feel like I haven't
No,
noticed.
I'm totally all good. I'm just listening away.
Okay, great.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, I'm just gonna write a note. Okay. Great. Okay. All right, let me go back to the agenda and that was discussion 5A South Coast Branch, which brings us to 5B 2025-2026 Board Education Sessions, which is the document we just had open. We can open that again. And Danielle, your name is beside this, so I'm going to let you go ahead and speak to it so you can get the information that you need.
Yeah, so we have a board education session scheduled for January 29. And it's coming out quickly, so put a link in the agenda of some topic recommendations. And I just wanted to put it out there. There's a couple options because I know we're missing some trustees today. So we could send out a poll. Here's an idea to see what topics people are most interested in. So that's an option. Or we could like decide here what we want the next topic to be. So any thoughts?
I would say because there's people not here today, maybe send out the poll and then
Yeah.
everyone gets a chance to have their opinion.
Okay, and does it make sense to do like a ranking or something like that? People rank in like what they're interested or something, or
Whatever's
I think
easiest
that's
for
what,
you, I think.
that's what Celeste did and it worked really well.
Mhm.
She had a really good, like, what you were interested in based on, yeah.
Okay, so is everyone okay if we go ahead with that?
Okay,
That method for, okay.
okay,
Yeah.
great. Thanks for doing that.
Is that good with you? Okay, so we'll send that out after this meeting, probably tomorrow or something, sometime. Sweet.
Sure, that sounds good. Okay, that brings us to questions of clarification from the public.
There's nothing there.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, that means that we have taken care of all of the agenda items and all of the work attached to those items, and we can call this meeting adjourned.
Are we going right into in camera?
That
Gotta
is a
wait for
good.
fall.
Yeah. I
Oh,
think
yeah, we
we'll-
wait for.
We'll text you, Lisa, if we're gonna be early.